Hello, hello, hello. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up YouTube chat so that I don't, let's see, miss anything. Today we're doing this live. Huge news. The Los Angeles Sparks have fired the GM. Now let's go ahead and I'm just refreshing a couple of pages, guys. Yes, bringing up my chat. Now, bear with me because this is live. We're going to analyze this live, break it down live. So let's talk about Raegen. Raegen's been with the Sparks for maybe 4 or 5 years. She was supposed to come in and lead the Sparks into the future behind the retirement of Candace Parker. You had some young blood come in, like Ray Burrell, and you had some veterans like Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka was supposed to lead that team, but things don't always work out when you try to take the number two on a team, put him in the number one position, which is what the Sparks were hoping would do when it comes to Nneka. Like I said, didn't work out. Everything doesn't work out the way you wanted to. But they brought in a new coach. They started swapping players. They decided that they would go with young blood. So Kurt Miller did go into a situation where he took over a failing team. He did what he could to get that team back on its feet after Candace Parker left behind Nneka Ogwumike. Things didn't work out, right? But he had a vision, and his vision was the future. So Raegen, Kurt Miller got together. They decided they were going all in on young players and the 2024 draft. They just started moving things around. First thing they did, they traded the 2026 pick, first round pick. They traded their 2026 first round pick to get Kia Nurse and the number 4 pick for the Los Angeles Sparks. So that became your future of the Los Angeles Sparks, built around young players. Ray Burrell at one point was one of the oldest players on the team. Think about that. The Sparks also decided to bring in a vet in De'Arica Hamby from the Las Vegas Aces, believing that De'Arica Hamby's experience with the Aces, that championship pedigree, would be able to teach and lead these young players that the Los Angeles Sparks had gone all in on. Their, I can't even say her name, Leah Ruse, your Cameron Brinks, your Rakia Jacksons, your Ray Burrells. The Sparks was one of the youngest teams. I want you guys to think about what the Seattle Storm are right now. That's what the Los Angeles Sparks were for the 2024 draft. Now, things unfortunately did not work out. You guys saw what happened. The Los Angeles Sparks built their future around one single person. Everyone else was number two. The Los Angeles Sparks built everything around their counter to Caitlin Clark, and that was Cameron Brink. Now, a lot of people didn't agree with that pick. A lot of people thought they should have gone with Angel Reese. A lot of people thought they should have gone with Camila Cardoso. A lot of people thought Peely would have been better. But the Sparks had a plan. They were bringing in Brink for defense and paint scoring. They were bringing in Rakia Jackson to be the facilitator. Now, unfortunately, things happened. Cam got hurt. When Cam got hurt, the wheels pretty much fell off. You had vet players like Lacia Clarendon, who I believe might have been like 39, who had to come in and be the primary ball handler because they needed Rakia to score more. But Rakia was a guard. She was I would call her a guard forward. She was never the primary ball handler. She was getting there, but she wasn't there yet. So when you needed a pure point guard, the only person the Sparks had, because they needed Rikia to focus on scoring, they didn't have that wiggle room. With Cam out, they didn't have the wiggle room to allow Rikia Jackson to just slowly grow. It was like, all right, Rikia, we need you now. We need you to score. They put 40-year-old Lacia Clarendon as the primary point guard. You guys know that did not work out. It didn't work out because Clarendon literally the next year retired because she was older. But the painting was there. The picture that Raegen was painting along with Kurt Miller was this was a future team. Yes, we just lost the face of our future team in Cameron Brink. She can go do her modeling while she heals. But everything fell on the other future face, Rikia Jackson, and Rikia Jackson shined. Let's go pull up Rikia Jackson's 2024 stats. Hopefully, they don't make it hard for us to do. Now, 17, 6, 47% field goal. Rikia shined in 2024. She was not where we expected her to be when it came to her position on the floor, but she gave us nobody, not a single rookie. Did any rookies outplay her that season? I mean, Caitlin Clark might have. What was Caitlin Clark's stats for the 2024 season? Can anybody tell me in the chat? Maybe it'll save us some time. Oop. What was CC's stats in 2024? Did she outplay Rikia Jackson? She did. She outplayed Rikia Jackson. But I digress. No, I don't think there was another rookie who outplayed Rikia Jackson in 2024. But unfortunately, the Sparks still didn't get there. They did not get there, right? Now, Raegen, at that point, completely decides to pivot. I don't know what happened in her mind. She gets rid of Kurt Miller. She starts to let young players go. The Sparks lost someone in expansion. Who did the Sparks lose in the 2025? Was it the 2024? They lost a young player in expansion. That was shocking. I can't remember off the top of my head, but other than that, Raegen decided to go in a completely different direction. Cam Brink, the face of the team, was out still. The Sparks did not make the playoffs, even though De'Erica Hamby was been an amazing vet, even though Rikia Jackson was shining bright. The Sparks decide to go in a completely different direction. Now, while everyone is assuming the Sparks are going to pick up the number 2 in the draft because we're a young team, we're going young. We've got the number 2 pick in the draft. The Sparks trade, shockingly, for Kelsey Plum. Now, this was shocking to everyone. No, don't get us wrong. Everyone loves Kelsey Plum, but bringing her in showed a complete different direction for the Los Angeles Sparks. It showed the Los Angeles Sparks were no longer building around a young roster. The Los Angeles Sparks, Raegen Pebley had decided she was going to fire Kurt Miller, stop his trajectory of bringing in young players, and focus on winning now. So she brings in De'Erica Hamby's co-star from the Aces. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were to tell anyone on earth that they could take the number 2 and number 3 player from the championship Las Vegas Aces and have them start their own system in another team, Most people would say, yes, do it, and how fast can we get it done? A lot of Sparks fans were very excited about this. A lot of Plum fans were very excited. She gets to get out of the shadow of Asia Wilson. She gets to go team back up with De'Erica Hamby, her championship partner. Now you've got the point guard and the power forward from a championship team. Now, what did the Sparks give up to get Kelsey Plum? They gave up Lee Rue. Remember, Lee Rue was our young 6 foot. God, Lee Rue was tall. I don't remember. They gave up Lee Rue in the second pick in the 2025 draft for Kelsey Plum. Now, guys, if you guys remember, who was the number 2 pick in the 2025 draft? Some of you guys will agree with this. Some of you guys will not agree with this. Raegen Pebley decided to go with let's win now. Let's try to recreate the Las Vegas Aces in Los Angeles, minus the star of the show, Asia Wilson. Give up on these young players. Give up on our young center Lee Rue. Bring in Kelsey Plum now. You bring in a 30-year-old Kelsey Plum to play with a 32-year-old De'Erica Hamby. Cameron Brink is hurt. But the problem is, now you've got 2 primary ball handlers. You've got Kelsey Plum, and you've got the woman you drafted last year to become, who should have been your primary ball handler, in Rickea Jackson. That probably caused a problem the entire season. But bringing in Plum, you also lost out on 20, or was it 19-year-old Dominique Malonga. Yes, you brought in Kelsey Plum, but you gave up 19-year-old Dominique Malonga. You enjoy your 5, 6 good years with Kelsey Plum, but you missed out on probably 15, 16 years of play from Dominique Malonga. Can you guys imagine how impenetrable the Los Angeles Sparks defense would be in the paint if you had Dominique Malonga and Cameron Brink down there with Rickea Jackson running the show? Heartbreaking. It gets worse. After that, the Sparks start to lose young players left and right and bring in, for whatever reason, very old veterans. None of us know what's going on. The Sparks draft in the 2024 or 2025 draft, correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah Ashley Barker. The 2025 Los Angeles Sparks roster was a very young team. I understand they had brung in let's take a look at this. They brung in Kelsey Plum, but if you look at the roster, I hope this is big enough for you guys to see. If you look at those birthdays, 1996, 2001, 2001, 2000, skip over Emma Canyon. You got Sanaya Fagan, 2003, 2001, 2002, 2001. Then you got this group down here. The majority of the Los Angeles Sparks roster in 2025 were still players under 24, 23, 24 years old. Now, we can all look at the article that Kelsey Plum herself did an interview for and was put out, when it breaks down the mentality that Kelsey Plum has. Kelsey Plum building dynasty. Her Yahoo Sports personal interview. I won't read it, guys. I'll link it in the description, but it breaks down how when the Los Angeles Sparks agreed to bring over Kelsey Plum, they let Kelsey Plum know this is your team now. And the first thing Kelsey Plum starts to do, get rid of the other young players. She starts recruiting players that she used to play with. You wonder why is nearly every single player on the Los Angeles Sparks 2026 roster over 30 years old and under 6 feet tall? Because they were recruited by Kelsey Plum. The Los Angeles Sparks, Raegen, walked over to Kelsey Plum. And remember, Kelsey Plum had never led a team. She was number 2, number 3 to the consistent MVP, Asia Wilson. She is a great player and she's a great scorer. But she was never someone sitting on the top of the team. So constructing a team was not something Kelsey Plum knew how to do. But this article came out, what was it, May 2026. On a rare off day in Los Angeles, Sparks guard Kelsey Plum settles into yada yada. It goes on, it goes on, goes on. This area here talks about how the Sparks allowed her to build this team. How she went out and she got convinced NECA. She convinced NECA to join. 36-year-old NECA Agwumike, who failed to lead the Sparks just a couple of years ago. When the Sparks were down bad, she packed up her bags and she left. We've got her talking about how she convinced the Sparks to go out and get Erica Wheeler. Now, how she, Control F, convinced the Sparks to go out and get Ariel Atkins. And you know what happened when we got Ariel Atkins? You lost Rickea Jackson. If you ever wonder why would they make a decision like that, read it right there. Was that it? Eric. She helped bring Ariel Atkins to Los Angeles. She helped bring Erica Wheeler. She helped bring back NECA. The Sparks let, or should I say Raegen, let Kelsey Plum build this team. She built it off people she liked playing with, which is why the Sparks lost all of their young players. They lost Julia Alamand. Let's go see how Julia Alamand is doing right now. Whoa. Yada yada. 6-3-5 off the bench. Depending on her minutes, she can give you double digits. Look at that. 11 and 10, 13 and 14 assists. Young player. Experience, 3 years. We had her. Got rid of her. Let's see. Rickea Jackson got rid of her. Every young player Raegen Pebley decided to get rid of. That's why she lost her job. Because during an interview, Raegen, the words out of her mouth when they asked, what were you thinking when you brought in Ariel Atkins. When you brought in Ariel Atkins, who was averaging 8-2-2 on our season, and can we get to a place where we can see her career stats? Where are her career stats? God, I don't care enough about Ariel Atkins to even figure it out. Anyway, oof. Let's see. Whoa, that is not how. Yeah, but I want to see her career stats. Nope. 5. I want to see what she did. What were her stats in 2025? 13, 3.4, and 3.6 for the season. Still was not better than Rakia. Now, if you wonder why they did this, and here was the justification that Raegen said. She said, quote, defense. She said, we needed to increase our defense. Now, I want you guys to take a quick look at this stat. Who has the worst defense in the WNBA in 2026? The Los Angeles Sparks. Yet you gave up a 24-year-old Rakia Jackson who played better defense, scored more, and was 10 years younger for Ariel Atkins. Rakia Jackson went over to score, 18 points a game in Chicago? Ariel Atkins is scoring, 6 points a game now? 17 and 8? 17.8? 6? If you wonder why, guys, why would the Los Angeles Sparks cut ties with their GM in the middle of the season? It's because currently the Sparks are sitting at 9th place outside of the playoffs. The Sparks have not been in the playoffs since 2020. This was before COVID, 6 years ago. And here they are. Now, I've watched every Sparks game, and I can tell you now, when you break down every game the Sparks have won with the roster that Raegen and Kelsey put together, let's look at this. Okay, we're going way too far back. I'm going to assume it's right here. Got demolished by the Aces. Beaten by the Fever. They beat an expansion team. And then lost to that expansion team. They beat the Mercury, who I do not even believe are currently... Are the Mercury even good? I believe the Mercury are like barely at 10 and 10 right now? No, the Mercury are 8 and 16. They beat the Aces. Surprising game, but I don't even know if I'll double check it. You guys see this? This was like Kelsey Plum's revenge game. It's 38 points. They beat the Mystics, who were terrible. They beat the Sun. No, they lost to the Sun somehow. They lost to the worst team in the WNBA somehow. I don't know how. Lost to the Aces. lost to the Wings, beat the Expansion Fire, beat the Storm, who are the second worst team in the WNBA, beat the Mercury again, who we just said are like 8-16, lost to the Valkyries, lost to the Lynx, beat the Liberty. You guys want to know how they beat the Liberty? The Liberty's center does not play defense. If I could pull up that game for a second without YouTube taking this down, let's try to go to that game for a quick, brief second. And if I can get it, I'm going to show you something I noticed in that game. All right. Let's see. Is this the game? Was it 2 weeks ago? The 30th season? It must have been. I'm going to mute this. And it was about now. You guys can see my cursor, number 30 right here. I was watching that game and I realized no matter what happened, she never put up her hands in defense. Let me see. So let me go back a little bit. Ignore that play. Come on a little forward. Let's see. I want you guys to watch. I believe this is one of the plays. I want you guys to take a look at Nneka Ogwumike and the Liberty Center. I think this might be one of those plays. Just watch her. Watch Nneka. She's going this way. Nneka's going this way. That is how that game went the entire time. Let's get that 3 out of the way. I think I can show you guys maybe one more. Okay, that's not it. That's just a... Bruh, I know you guys saw that. Somebody just put up a shot right here, guys. Watch her make 0 attempt to get the rebound. I know. Who does that? And does she even put her hands up to block Nneka's shot? Let's see. I know you guys saw that. This is, remember, Nneka scored the most points, and this was the person guarding Nneka Ogwumike. That's how the Sparks won that game versus the Liberty. I want you guys to once again watch her not attempt to get the rebound and then not attempt to block Nneka's shot. You guys can't tell me that's not ridiculous. Let's see. Let's see. Can we get another one? Let me see if I can get one more. All right. All right. Nneka's driving towards her right now. Let's see if she attempts to block Nneka's shot. Nneka's running downhill straight at her. You guys see that? She doesn't attempt to block Nneka's shot, put up any defense. She keeps her hands down and just turns around. So, if you guys wondered how the Sparks beat such a good team in the Liberty, Nneka took advantage of whoever this was on the Liberty. It was constant. Even the last shot of the game was her not guarding Nneka at all. If I pull it back just a bit, we all know that's Nneka's assignment. Now let's see. She's on Nneka at the moment. She's doing her job. As you see, now she's got eyes on the ball and no eyes on Nneka for some reason. Nneka makes a hard stop and runs out to the 3-point line. She has no idea where NECA is right now. Now you got these Liberty players trying to hold off NECA while who is that? Is that Kelsey Plum? Kelsey Plum, who should not have been in the game. You can literally look at her leg and see she looks like she's got a cyborg leg right now. Running over to the corner. So she decides to try to get back on Plum. She's got to cross whoever this is, number 35, it looks like. She stops to guard Plum while NECA's way over here. And if you guys wonder how the Sparks won that game, I watched every second of that game. Now, let's go back to some other important parts of that game. One, let's see if we can see it. Where is it? Kelsey Plum, if you guys can see her, had just gotten back from injury. Kelsey Plum has both legs fully uncovered. She should not have been in that game. Now, as you guys can see a little further into the game, now she's got a small leg wrap. There it is. You can see it. You see it a little further. Now she switched out the leg wrap for a brace and tape. She still got that brace and tape. Now I'll see if I can get a better image. Now she's removed the tape and put an entire compression sleeve on under the tape. By the end of the game, is she there? She's not there at the moment. By the end of the game, she's got tape, compression. She looks like she's literally out there on one leg. What on earth was the reason Kelsey Plum was out there? Aaron Wooten, do I think the head coach is next? I think the head coach is going to last the season. This is her system. We may not agree with her system. I think her system is terrible. But the entire season is currently built on her system. You cannot let her go right now. As much as I hate to say it, guys, the head coach cannot just go because the Los Angeles Sparks only have one choice because of the choices that Raegen Pebley made. They only have one choice, and it's to attempt to win now. The Sparks are too far into trying to win now to tank for Juju, to get Hannah Hidalgo. The Sparks will not be getting a lottery pick. I'm sorry, I hate it. I thought the Sparks should have tanked the season starting from game 4. The Sparks should never have been attempting to win. But they did. Now the Sparks are sitting in a position because of Raegen's decisions where she created a team that was too old, too veteran heavy, working with Plum, too little, too old, and too many guards. The Los Angeles Sparks do not have one legitimate center on the team. They've got 2 forwards and like 8 guards. I guess I would love to consider Ray Burrell a forward, but Ray Burrell plays like a guard. She plays like a 2 guard. Now, so you've got a bunch of players who are there because Raegen Pebley and Kelsey Plum told them this is where you come if you want to win a championship. They assembled a team that was not good enough to win a championship, was not good enough to make the playoffs, but was good enough to win enough games to play themselves out of the Juju Hannah Hidalgo 2028 draft. So now you've got a bunch of players who are 35, 36, 39 years old on 2-3 year contracts. Remember, the Sparks, other than Cameron Brink, because I 100% will tell you, I guarantee Cameron Brink is the only Spark, maybe outside of Plum, who sells jerseys. Kate Martin might sell some jerseys now as well. Emma Cannon, Ariel Atkins, Ray Burrell, who is amazing. De'Erica Hamby, they're not selling tickets, they're not selling jerseys. The only reason they haven't gotten rid of Cameron Brink is because she makes the team money. Or they would have gotten rid of Brink a long time ago. You got to think about if they got rid of Sanaya Fagan to bring in someone half her height, twice as old, to get rid of Tanaya Latson, to bring in Williams, and then lied to everybody and told everybody Latson is going to be the future of our team, guys. She's going to be our future point guard. Remember, Raegen and the coach forced Latson to play in a position she didn't want to play in. She wanted to play a forward. She didn't want to play guard. She wanted to be a scorer, and they said because of your height, the coach and Raegen decided she's smart. She's going to be a point guard. They made her leave the position she was comfortable with, play a position she never played before, and then got rid of her while she was learning how to play the new position. Sarah Ashley Barker. This team went all in on young players and then got rid of all those young players a year and a half later to bring in a bunch of vets. Well, guess what? The choices Raegen Pebley made are going to haunt this team for a decade. Bringing in Kelsey Plum, who's wonderful, we all love her, instead of Dominique Malanga, is going to haunt this team. Signing Kia Nurse, who's already gone, is going to haunt this team. Looking at all the players that Raegen Pebley kept during expansion drafts and lost other great young players and then got rid of those young players, that's going to haunt this team. I think there are two number one reasons the Los Angeles Sparks fired Raegen Pebley. One, so she could not damage the Sparks when it came to the 2027 draft. She's done enough to upset the fan base with her draft selections, her trades, and her signings. The front office probably said, we've had enough. You cannot have the power over our next draft. And probably because the Sparks ownership have made a decision. You can either try to win or you can tank. And maybe the Sparks ownerships have decided tanking is the way to go. Because the Sparks leadership were very happy when the Sparks were losing. But as soon as the Sparks started showing a little win in them, boom, Raegen gets fired. That's all I got to say, guys. Like and subscribe. We're going to be covering the Sparks and the rest of the WNBA. It is a joyous occasion for the Los Angeles Sparks fans. Congratulations, ding dong, The itch is gone. Congratulations, Sparks fans. On to a better future and a better tomorrow.